Hello, welcome back to another Get It All Done video. Join me today for plenty of mum life motivation, getting loads of jobs ticked off around the house. So now we're into October. I decided to buy a 10.5 tog duvet for our bed sheets, and I decided that today was the day that I was going to change it all round. So the bedding needed washing, so I'm just stripping the sheets off the bed, and once the duvet was cleaned, later on in this video you'll see me put the new thicker duvet onto the bedding. So yeah, hello if you're new here, my name is Grace and I am a mum to two little boys. I've got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and this is going to be a really productive Get It All Done video. I wasn't planning on being as productive as I was, but when I woke up on this morning I just felt I wanted to get loads done. So here I am, just taking that new duvet outside just to air, because sometimes things can smell a little bit like synthetic or a bit kind of like the plastic bag they've been in. So I thought I'd let that just air outside for a little while. And then upstairs was just a bit of a tip really, so I'm putting some washing away, and my parents actually took the boys out for an hour, which they did a few weeks ago when I filmed one of my videos, and we're just getting them used to being without their mum and dad for an hour or so, just so we can get a little bit of things done around the house. So yeah, there was washing from a previous day that needed putting away, just on my son's radiator here, so folding that all up. I'm still obsessed with like folding things. If you saw one of my previous videos, I found the effective spaces on Instagram, and yeah, I'm just obsessed with folding and tidying at the minute. So I'm just putting all of Jasper's like teddies off the floor, and there was just a load of stuff on his floor, as kids' bedrooms do get a bit like that, don't they? And then I was getting a little bit more washing out of the laundry basket here to add to the duvet and stuff, but I was actually really impressed. Like the whole weekend I think I did about 4 or 5 wash loads, and I don't think I've got the washing basket down so empty in ages, so it felt quite productive. So I think this was probably like the 4th or 5th wash this weekend, because we had a really nice dry weekend. As you can see, I'm quite impressed how empty the washing basket is. So if you're not already, please do consider becoming a subscriber. I post lots of content like this if you like this kind of thing, and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And yeah, give the video a thumbs up too, that helps me out. Yeah, I'm just tidying some socks away in Elliot's room, and while the kids were out in a bit, I knew that I wanted to get like some hoovering done, because when they came home I knew that they would soon be needing like a nap. So I'm getting all the floor space tidy now so that I can hoover shortly. Taking the laundry downstairs now, I'm going to pop that on in the machine, and you're going to see in a second that the kitchen was quite messy. We hadn't quite finished clearing up from breakfast. We'd had some like bacon in the air fryer, and I'd left it in some soda crystals to kind of degrease. So yeah, I needed to do a little bit of washing up before I continued on with the clean for today. So that's what I'm doing right now. Once I'd done that, I decided to get cracking on the hoovering, because my mum had let me know that they were already bringing the boys back. They actually took them to Dunelm for me because we did a click and collect. We bought some like heated air dryer thing, so they were picking that up from Dunelm for us. So they were on their way back, so I thought I'd better quickly get the hoovering done, because Obviously I can't hoover when the boys are napping, so I'm just hoovering all upstairs. I actually decided to hoover on the maximum setting because it does pick up so much more dust and dirt, but after a little while, by the time I got downstairs, the battery had conked out, so I had to finish doing like the downstairs later on in the video. The washing had finished, so I'm just putting that sheet out on the line, and it dried really quickly because it was quite bright and windy. And now I just needed to do these little desserts that we've been doing for the boys, so you kind of like fill them up with whatever you want. And so I've been putting like flavoured yoghurt in them, and it's really cost effective way of doing like puddings for the boys. So obviously this will last the children like 2 nights, these little like DIY ice lolly mould things. So that's what I was doing there. And then afterwards, this is when the children are napping now, so I can't really like hoover, as I just said. I was just running the dust around, and I decided to pull the kitchen table out, and there was so much mess on the skirting and the radiator behind our table where the kids chuck food. Well, mostly my older toddler throws food, but Jasper has now started copying the younger one. Yeah, the radiator behind the table was filthy, really dusty, lots of like just food that's probably been thrown or whatever, and the skirting underneath was dusty and dirty. So that's what I'm cleaning now. I've just got like a microfiber cloth with water on, and then I also have a minky pad here just to scrub anything a little bit more stubborn. So yeah, no products, literally just water there because of the paint on the skirting. But I do spray the radiator in a minute with some Fabulosa because the radiator had loads of rubbish on it as well, as you'll see. So yeah, this was just a job that I'd neglected for so long, and it's surprising when you leave something, it gets quite dirty. So yeah, this is what I'm doing right now.
Red eyes, strobe lights moving across the walls. You're looking like a movie star, but I don't know just what you are. Seems like your type to be on the floor. You're looking for a kind of queen, the baddest one you've ever seen. You're shining bright as crystal, moving like a twister. Ooh, I'm swaying to the hits, boy, loving every disco. Ooh, so you say you're loving somebody else, that I am only for the night. Yeah, you say you're gone and still you're in my bed. You're loving how I read your mind. So you say, so you say, so I play, I don't love you anyway. So you say, so I play, I don't love you anyway.
on into the playroom, I've got my flash magnetic duster still, and I'm dusting the windowsill up high in the playroom, and I'm like extending it out to dust the ceiling because there's quite a few cobwebs. I haven't dusted this shelf for so long, and as you can see it was filthy, so I ended up replacing the head of that like with my refill pack and carried on dusting. So yeah, just dusting in the playroom.
Shining bright as crystal, moving like a twister. Ooh, I'm swaying to the hits, boy, loving every disco. Ooh, so you say you're loving somebody else, that I am only for tonight. Yeah, you say you're gone and still you're in my bed. You're loving how I read your mind. So you say, so you say, so I play, I don't love you anyway.
Just dusting downstairs really while the kids are sleeping, and this is the Dunelm Aera that I was talking about a minute ago. It's like a heated one that you plug in because obviously we do a lot of washing, and in the winter normally we'd use the radiator to dry clothes, but we're not going to be doing that as much this year, so we're going to try this out. I'll try and leave the link to it down below if you're interested. I'll see how I get on with that too. Now I'm going through to the living room for more dusting, and then you're going to see in a sec I'm like taking off this like glue because my older toddler has taken all of the like corner protectors off the furniture. So I had all corner protectors on all these like corners of in the living room, and he'd taken them off and left like all this like sticky glue like here. So there was like so much glue on all the furniture. So I'm taking that off the fireplace, and then I'm just gonna be polishing. The television had so many fingerprints on it. I don't even see the kids go up to it, but they obviously do touch the telly. But yeah, I'm cleaning the television now with a little bit of white vinegar and just paper tissue. I'm not sure if you're meant to use that on televisions, but I've always found that there's no problem using it on the TV to clean it. So I wouldn't recommend it, but because I don't know if you're meant to, but I've never had any problems with it.
There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words, no more, no. I got so high on a low.
Taking off more of that glue. This is what I'm talking about. This is what they've taken off of all the corners, which is really annoying because now Jasper is actually walking. We could probably do with having them on, so I'm not really sure what to do, if I should put more on or just leave it now. So yeah, after I've done that, I'm polishing all of the wooden furniture in the lounge and taking off more of that glue.
Didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out who you really are. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. Just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words, no more.
The kids were still asleep, so I thought I would go and do a few deep cleaning jobs. I wanted to spray down their IKEA high chairs and do like the potties. So with the hose, I'm just literally spraying down the high chairs. This is a really good way to deep clean them. Then I go in with a little bit of like a cream cleaner and a tiny bit of disinfectant. So once I've sprayed them down, I just leave them to air dry in the sun. I was doing this like loads in the summer, but obviously I'm not going to be doing it as much. I'm just in the garden now looking for dog toilets too. So yeah, now I'm doing the potties. I've got a little bit of the Star Drops cleaner and some neat disinfectant for the potties. Again, this is just a good way to like deep clean them, and then I just leave them to air dry. And now I am putting the bedding on because, like I said, it dried quite quickly because it was a warm day and there was a little bit of a breeze. And I'm going to be putting on that new thicker duvet, and it felt so much heavier. Like you can just see the difference in like how much thicker it was. So it's going to really make a difference to having like warmer nights now. I'm really looking forward to having that on the bed, obviously because we're not going to be using the heating so much. Yeah, so here I am, just literally you can see how much thicker it is. The kids were about to wake up, so I thought I would finish doing the hoovering in the downstairs part of the house, because the floor, you can't really see, but it was filthy. The kids have done loads of playing in the playroom, so I'm just finishing off hoovering downstairs. And then my husband did go and wake them up like shortly, so that they were upstairs while I just mopped the floor, because I haven't done it for a little while. And obviously where Elliot is like potty trailing now, like there's little drips sometimes from the potty, and yeah, I just wanted to mop the floor because it was such a nice warm day. So it dried quite quickly, but something that I have also been doing recently is I've been taking I've got 2 mop heads now, so I will take a dry mop head once I've mopped and just go over it with like a dry mop. And because my floor is laminate, it's quite a good idea not to get it like really wet, and it also just speeds up the drying. So I sort of like go over it with a dry mop. And yeah, that is basically everything done. I was so productive, just like little mum jobs around the house really. And then luckily the day before I had cooked tonight's dinner, as you can see here, definite mum win there. So I didn't have to do any cooking after being super productive all day in the house. So I thought I'd just share this day with you. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you have, and I'll see you again for another video. Bye.